Hi, Java object-oriented programming language is one of the most popular and effective languages in current modern uh, software industry. And it's now more than 2 decades. It's still on one of the top most and favorite programming languages among the software and IT engineers. Here, the new version is Java 8. It's now published by Oracle, and then I'm going through the basics of the Java programming tutorial. Here is Java class. What is the fundamental things in Java is the Java class, and the basic form of Java class is that it has two things inside it. If this is your Java class, it is divided into two sections. One is the declaration of attribute, and another is method. Now this seems very simple, but while doing programming it will be a little bit complicated as to how this you have to declare it in proper way. And then you will have later, before actually you define the attribute, you have to make a decision whether it is public or private. There are the other attribute types that we will get into later. The public is when we want the outside function or method or class to access the attribute. We use this public keyword. Else we use private. Private is only accessible inside the block, but public can be accessed from outside of the class. So pretty much this is like in the programming, we define class, and this is small, all small, and then class name is normally the first letter is big capital letter, and then class name, for example class 1, and then you begin the class by this curly bracket, and then attribute type and the variable name, for example variable 1. Similarly, multiple variables can be declared in this section. Then you define method. If method is returning any value, then type of the value is integer, string, or any other type. Then method name. Here mostly we give the name beginning with a small letter, method 1 for example, and then list of parameter, param, and then we begin. Actually we should be here, but I don't have space here. So this is inside this you have instruction, and finally you close class. So this is your complete class. First of all, you have one line of declaring the class name, begin, then attribute, then here you have name of the method, begin, and here you have instruction within this, and close the class. So this is compared to this and this one. Now inside the class you might have multiple methods. For that, the structure will be like this. You have a class declaration here, a1, and then you have multiple variable here, then you have method in here, and you might have this method going on multiple. Inside this we have instructions and go on and on, and then finally close the class. That's pretty much the class of the structure of the class, a basic structure of any class. So just to review again, to understand the UML concept, you have a box. UML diagram will be like this. You have a class name here, class name, and then the upper section is attribute, and then method, and the beginning of this initial sometimes you have to write proper plus or minus to indicate whether it is public or private. Plus is public and minus is private. And there are other indication, this we will get into later, but this is pretty much the class UML diagram. So I hope for the moment the structure of the class is pretty much clear now. I will give one simple class example. For example, you have a class like box, any box, it can be of any size. We don't know the size, so let's define with class box, and then we define the width. So int w is for width, and the height is for h, and then int length l. So this is the attribute, and if nothing is written, it is private. And we close. So in this class we don't have any method, it's simple with three variable or attribute in it. So this, the first initial declaration is the data type of variable, all are int. We could take it double instead of int because the multiplication and division and any other equation and the size of the box might not be properly, a whole number. Sometimes it will be fraction. So for that, actually, it's better to keep it as a double. For that, we can enter 2.3 or something like those fraction number, floating point number. So let's say we replace this with a new class with a double variable. So class box double height double width double length. So this is semicolon at the end of each line. Let's close this. So this is a complete class, simple class, and later we'll be describe, describing and inheriting this class to create another class. So if you execute this class, you will have nothing, no output will be given, it's just a basic structure. Now we are going to create another class by inheriting this simple class. How we can inherit a class? We create simply by class box demo. For example, we are now going to inherit the previous box. So public static void main, then inside the scene user yes begin box my box new then box. So, volume
C++, C++.